because I got to be done. And watching This Is Us by 9. Okay. Yeah. So tonight I'm gonna do this quick call on recruiting, and a lot of this content I'm getting from Jen Guthrie. She's a rock star coach that's on Balbazo's team. So she's like the dream team, but she's like a little firecracker. I really love her. She's a music teacher, taking the year off right now to get like she's doing sabbatical to get her master's. And honestly, I don't think she'll ever go back to teaching, but she says she will. We'll see. She loves teaching. At the same time, I think she's gonna just like love being off too. So, she's an elite coach. Well, she's a 5-star. I think she was elite this past year, but she literally kind of came out of nowhere, and she's been in the business for a while, but this past year she just really took her business to another level. She is a red personality, if you know what that means. She just sort of tells it like it is, but she is super cute. Her social media is amazing. If you don't follow her, definitely follow her. Her name again is Jen Guthrie, Guthrie, and she's from Louisiana. Wait, Mississippi, maybe. I don't know. Down south, she has the cutest accent. She's not single. She's married, but she doesn't have any kids yet, and she's just so down to earth and doesn't care what people think of her. You can tell that. Super genuine, and I think that's why she's just such an amazing coach, because everybody wants to be part of her team. But what she tells you when you talk to her is that she didn't recruit for the longest time. She could hit Success Club. She was great at posting on social media, but she didn't recruit because she told herself she wasn't good at recruiting. And honestly, I think I have fallen into that for a lot of the time I've been a coach. I've always hit Success Club. I have always kind of done what I've been told to do, but I've never been great at recruiting. And I think I've just told myself I'm not good at recruiting. So she says, if you tell yourself that, you might as well just accept it, because that is what's going to be. So if you're telling yourself you can't hit Success Club, you're never going to hit Success Club. If you're telling yourself you can't hit high Success Club numbers, you're never going to hit high Success Club numbers. If you're telling yourself you can't recruit coaches, you might as well accept that you never will recruit coaches. So if you are doing that now, stop and start changing your mindset. She says that there's that quote that says, the fact that you aren't where you want to be right now, which we shouldn't be, right? We should never be satisfied with where we're at. You aren't where you want to be. So write down a list of excuses, like things that are holding you back. Realize that all those things that you just wrote down are the reason that you're not there. And that's like a really big gut check for us. And it's hard to do that sometimes. But guess what? Be okay with giving yourself a gut check. So, for example, Sundays for me are like family day. I'm not saying that family day isn't important, because it absolutely is. But here I am telling my team and telling you guys that I have this huge goal and I want to be an elite coach and I have these big income goals and blah, blah, blah. But then I take Sundays off and I like maybe work 30 minutes and then I sit and watch football all day long. Does that really sound like the activity that I should be putting forth if I have these huge goals? No, it doesn't. So if I'm okay with that, if I'm okay with those excuses holding me back, okay, fine. But if I'm not, then they're the reason that I'm not where I want to be. And that's just the plain and simple of it. So get really real with yourself and know that the reason you're not where you want to be right now are those excuses that you're allowing yourself to make. You're justifying. You're saying it's okay because, well, is it okay because? Are you willing to make temporary sacrifices? And again, if I was willing to put off those Sunday football games that I really don't need to watch, maybe just tune into the Redskins because that's really my only team and not have to watch football all day long on Sunday, I could get a lot more work done, right? I need to stop accepting those excuses. So it's just really a mindset, and you have to stop justifying your fears and excuses and just do the work now so that you can enjoy that stuff later. But in terms of like recruiting, it's like a topic. We don't like to talk about it. We don't like to do it. I don't even like the word. I really didn't want to post it because I was afraid nobody would get on, because like nobody likes to talk about recruiting. And honestly, I don't like to talk about it. But it is part of this business. If you do want to build a successful 6-figure type income that you can quit your job or do whatever, you do have to build a team. And that requires you to recruit. So let's not make it icky. Let's just talk about it. Let's break it down. There are things that hold people back in terms of recruiting. And one of them is just that. Like, we make it icky. We have fears of like rejection. We have fears of being told no. We have fears of people giving us objections that hold us back from inviting people to join us. We have fears of offending somebody, so that's why we don't invite them to join our team. We don't want them to think that we think they're fat. That's why we don't invite them to join our team, which Lord knows that's not the reason why we would be inviting them, but we think that in our heads, we tell ourselves that they're going to think that if we invite them. Or we even have fears of them like quitting, so we never invite them, which, how crazy is that? So we, with the opportunity for them, knowing how amazing it is to be a part of this, we don't invite them to this because they might quit, which, how dare we make that decision for them, right? But we do it. And those 4 fears that I just talked about, are those 4 things that allow to hold us back. What they really mean is this. So the fear of rejection that I talked about, the fear of being told no, the fear of we don't invite someone because we just don't want them to say no to us, we're afraid of that, really just means that you're just not sure how to invite them. You don't know what to say to them. So it's not so much that you're afraid of them telling you no, it's just you don't know how to go about asking them to be on your team. So you just don't do it at all, okay? And then instead of being afraid of objections or them coming back and saying, well, it costs too much, or I just don't have time, or something like that, you're not necessarily afraid of the objections, but instead you are not confident in our products and what they've done for you. So what I mean by that is, if you were truly confident in this team and in this business and in this company and how much it's changed your life, anybody could throw any objection at you and you would be able to bat it down in a second. Think about that. No matter what they threw at you, if you were truly sold out on Beachbody and how much it's changed your life, no matter what they threw at you, you would, you'd be able to stand up against an army of 1,000 people hating on Beachbody and be able to stand there with confidence and be able to say, I don't know what you guys are talking about because this company is the shizit. So if you're not there yet, dig a little deeper about why do you love this company? Why do you love these products? Why do you love this team? Why do you love this environment? And dig really deep into that and think about what you're withholding from somebody by not offering them the opportunity to become a part of this. And then if you are afraid of offending someone, what that really means is that you're just afraid of them saying yes. Like, you're really just afraid of them actually wanting to join your team, and then you actually have to train them, and then you actually have to lead someone, and oh my gosh, like, what if they actually said yes? And don't worry about all that, because we have systems in place that Melanie Mitro has created, so that should be the least of your worry. The #1 team in the network, guys. Like, we're back on top. And finally, if you have a fear of people quitting your team, like, you cannot live on the fear of what if. Like, some people will join your team and they will go a mile with you, and then other people will quit, and some will and some won't, and some people will, you're going to want to drag them kicking and screaming, but at the end of the day, some will, some won't, so what, right? Like, you're here, you showed up on the call tonight, that's all you can control is yourself. So you have to just say, some will, some won't, so what? And you're going with or without them. And you have that mindset, nothing else matters. One sec. Got it. Okay. So that's really just the things that are maybe holding you back in this business. But I want you to really just think about what I was just going over and like really embrace this opportunity. Now, when you're going to invite someone, you really have to build yourself up. You really have to psych yourself up. You really have to get in the right mindset before you even start inviting. So first things first, make sure you do some personal development. If you're going to sit down to do your power hour, make sure you have, watch a podcast or listen to some PD or like read a book, 15 minutes, just something. Do some positive affirmations. Take away any limiting beliefs that you're telling yourself, those things I was talking about at the beginning where you're already saying like, I'm not good at recruiting. Nobody wants to join my team. I see X, Y, and Z do this and they're great, but I'm just not. Like, no, absolutely not. Do not tell yourself anything like that before you start. Have confidence. And if that's something that you lack in, well, that's where you need to be filling your cup in your PD. Like, read Get Over Your Damn Self. Read, oh gosh, there's so many good confidence books. I can give you awesome examples. They just totally left my mind. I'll give you tons of them if you need them. But you need to really start there if you're struggling with confidence. But again, if you think you can't recruit, you won't. If you think you're not good at recruiting, you won't be. You're going to be literally telling people to like subliminally not join your team before you even start recruiting if you're telling yourself that. So psych yourself up before you even start. Now, when you sit down to invite, this is something you should be doing every day. And I want you to do this. So if you have, I'll just give you a few examples and I'll give you like 2 or 3 minutes to try this. So I want you to take people that are currently active in one of your challenge groups and you can actually use this word for word. So I'll type it out and then you guys can copy and paste it. I want you to do this for an invite. I want you to invite 1, 2, or 3 of your current challengers right now. Find 3 of your challengers that are like rocking a current challenge group. They are posting every day. They are supporting other challengers. They're doing their workouts. They're on point with their nutrition. I want you to send them this message. I'm going to type it out. I got to change my chat. There we go. I want you to type, hey there, so-and-so. I just wanted to say how much I've enjoyed having you in my challenge group. You're really stepping up and it shows. Have you considered becoming a coach at all? It's super simple, brainless, literally. And I want you to send that to like 1, 2, or 3 of your current challengers right now. So I'm going to type it up and you can copy and paste it. Okay, I think I got it to post. So again, it's hey there, so-and-so. I just wanted to say how much I have enjoyed having you in my challenge group. You're really stepping up and it shows. Have you considered becoming a coach at all? Okay, so you want to shoot that message off to, remember, you want to put their name in there, obviously, to 3 of your current challengers that are rocking your current challenge group. I'll get the next one ready while you're doing that. And we'll just give you like 2 minutes. I'm sure you can think of 2 or 3 challengers that are rocking it. This is how simple it is what I want to show you. Okay. 30 more seconds. Okay. So that was our first one. That's to our current challengers. Now, the second call to action I have for you guys is I want you to think of 1, 2, maybe 3 people that you just have always wanted on your team. Okay. Now, I'm going to warn you. There's this girl that I've always thought would make an amazing coach. Okay. I never invited her to become a coach ever. I've always had a ton in common with her. She has an amazing Facebook page. She just posts on social media naturally without being a coach. She doesn't necessarily post about fitness, but she just posts a lot. She is into hair like I'm into hair. She takes selfies naturally, which I didn't do before Beachbody, obviously. But we're just so much alike. And I always look at her and I'm like, gosh, she would make an amazing coach. But I've never invited her to coaching, okay? Don't know why. Don't ask me why. But we always hold back from these people. Do not hold back from these people, okay? Here's why. She is one of my customers, but she's not a coach. She posts on Facebook the other day that she posted her transformation. Like, she's been doing great losing weight. And she posted her transformation without any prompting from me. And she got a ton of response on it. And people were like asking her what she did. And she clearly gave Beachbody all the credit. And people were like wanting information. And then she was like, yeah, I'm not a coach, yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Alicia, like, you need to make her a coach yesterday. But when I reached out to her in that moment, because I was like, oh my gosh, girl, you need to become a coach. She was like, yeah, I've talked to so-and-so about becoming a coach. And I'm like, oh Lord, like, if I don't get her now, she's going to sign up with so-and-so and she's my customer. So here's this girl I haven't invited. I've wanted to invite. I literally almost lost her to another person when she's my customer because I didn't take the initiative to invite her. And she's been thinking about coaching. She would make the best coach. So please do not. And I've lost other people that way. This was one I almost lost. Needless to say, she joined my team yesterday. And we'll be announcing her in the team page later tonight. But don't wait to invite the people that you want on your team because they are probably thinking of joining your team anyway. They will be like completely flattered that you even think of them. Maybe they're sitting back waiting for you to invite them. So here's what I want you to send to these 3 people that you've been wanting on your team. I want you to send them this. I just posted it. Hey, so-and-so. So this is something that's really been on my mind lately, and I really feel it's on my heart to just bite them. You would make an amazing coach. You have such a bubbly personality. You love inspiring others, and you're so much fun to follow on social media. Have you ever considered it? Nothing more, nothing less. If you need to change it up because you wouldn't use the word bubbly or whatever, fine. But send that out. Don't even waste another second. Don't end up having that person end up on someone else's team. Bite the bullet and send it. Just close your eyes and press send. And if you're wondering, what am I going to say to these people when they respond? Don't worry, I got you covered. This is the last one I'm going to have you send right now. So go ahead, send to at least 2 of those. Oh, MC was kind of waiting for me to invite her. Look at that. It's crazy. What if she would have ended up on someone else's team? I would be kicking myself right now. Thank you, Stacy. I'm going to turn it up. Is that better? Okay. So you've sent these messages. Now, what happens when they start responding to you? What do you say? So if they get back to you and they're like, you've asked them, like, have you ever thought about coaching at all? So if you ask them and they come back to you and they're like, yeah, but I'm not sure if it's for me, something to that effect. I want you to be excited. You don't have to say OMG, but be excited for them. You know, tell them how amazing it is. Something short, brief, and then ask them, okay, but what makes you unsure? That's what you want to find out. Ask questions. So what if their response is this? What if their response is, I hadn't really thought about it? Well, your response should be, you should, LOL. I really wouldn't have messaged you if I didn't think that you'd be great at it. Would you like to chat more about it? I'm going to jot that down for you. Okay, so again, well, you should, LOL. I truly wouldn't have messaged you if I didn't think you'd be great at it. Would you like to chat more about it? Okay, and then what if they come back to you and just straight up say, no thanks, not interested, get away from me, you weirdo. Who knows, something like that. So if you get a no, first of all, it's not the end of the world. Don't hyperventilate. You're going to get no's, and don't worry, no's just really mean not right now. So I want you to say to the no's, I totally understand. Coaching isn't for everyone. I certainly didn't think it would be for me either. Can I ask you, what about it turns you off the most? So you just want to ask a question. You know, maybe it's something that you can overcome. Maybe they're just truly like, I can't post on social media, or I just don't get on Facebook a lot, or it's something simple that you can say, guess what? Neither did I, or I don't have enough Facebook friends. Dude, I started out with less than 200. You already have 3 times more than I did when I started. Who knows? But you have to ask questions. So again, you say to them, I totally understand. Coaching isn't for everyone. I didn't think it would be for me either. And if I'm honest with you guys, I used to look at Deidre and I used to think she was annoying, and I like hated her posts. She was spammy. Like, honestly, I used to be so turned off by her. And here I am, like, on her team 4 years later, still rocking this business. So don't worry about it. Like, I'm living proof that people change their mind about coaching. I mean, I literally was annoyed by her. Okay, so I just typed up the rest of that response. So I'm just going to give you now a few tips. So these tips are when you're inviting, you're just really trying to ask questions, because the person that's asking the questions really does control the conversation. So you just really want to get to know them. As you're getting into a conversation, someone, you never want to attack them. So keep that in mind. You might need to help them change their perspective, but you don't want to degrade them or try and change their beliefs necessarily. Just help them find a better way to see it. Always keep things simple. Don't think you're the expert. Just be a friend to them. So always say, you know, I completely understand. I used to think the same thing, that type of thing. With objections, they're not trying to be difficult. It's just most of the time they don't understand. So help them understand. Always believe and visualize your success before you start inviting. So assume you're going to get a yes before you even send messages. Be excited and enthusiastic as you're inviting. If you fear no's, you're going to provoke them to give you a no. Trust me, it's like the bears can smell fear in you, like literally the same thing. They can smell the fear in you, even from behind the computer. So don't be afraid. You never want to beg someone to join your team, ever, ever, ever. It is a privilege to be a Beachbody coach. And you don't want people on your team that don't want to be on your team anyway, because you're going to drag them kicking and screaming the whole way anyway. So you have to have the mindset, like I said at the beginning, that you're going with or without them. They can join the party or not. Like, just have that mindset. And you have to be okay with their decision either way. It's about them, not you, and what's best for them. And if they decide that coaching isn't best for them, you have to be okay with that. In the follow-up, so after you get these conversations going, and I can type this up for you and send it out, but you want to ask them things like this. You want to literally interview them and make them feel like they're being interviewed, so that they do understand it's a privilege to be a part of your team, and then you're not just accepting everyone. So you want to ask them, like, what interests you most about becoming a coach? Like, you know, dig deeper into that. Like, if they give you an answer there, then say, can you tell me more about that? So you really have a deep-rooted why out of them, and why they would actually put time and effort beyond what they're already doing into this, because we do know it takes work. So form them. Remember what FORM stands for. It stands for family, occupation, recreation, and message. Find that out about them. Find out what they do now and then see how Beachbody can fit into their life. Figure out how it can help enrich their life. Ask them like what they're currently doing. What are they currently doing for work? What have they done in the past? Just get to know them. Ask them if they're self-motivated. Do they have a desire to be their own boss and set their own hours and work from home? Ask them, what would they like to get out of coaching? Do they just want to get their own products paid for? Do they want to create a full-time income out of this? You know, do they just want to pay their mortgage? What are their goals out of coaching? Ask them why they think they would be a good fit. Like, why they think they would be a good coach. So this is where you're looking for their strengths. You want them to tell you their strengths. Ask them how much time they could commit to coaching in a week, in a day. Ask them that. And this is a really good one. Ask them why they should earn a spot on your team. Ask them what value that they could bring to the team and to their customers, their potential customers. So they're really feeling like, man, like I'm almost like in an interview chair right now, and I have to talk myself up. I have to really earn the spot. So after all that, and they are interested, you send them a message that's sort of like, welcome to the team. I can't wait to introduce you to everyone. Let's get you signed up. So next up, you have 2 options to join the team, and you just tell them the next date of the coach training, and you let them know that the coach training is going to like give them everything they need to know to be successful, and that they're getting the best of the best as we're part of the #1 team in the network. And they have 2 options to enroll, so they can sign up for $39.95 and then get 25% off their Shakeology, or they can enroll with a challenge pack, which is the better deal, and get that $39.95 waived. And then you just say, so these are the 2 options. Number 2 saves you the most money, and you can get started with our proven system. So which option works for you? So always given options works the best for people. They like to say, like, they like to feel like they have a choice. So give them option 1 or option 2. They let you know, then you send them the link, and like, you're in business. You literally just recruited a coach and they're ready to work the business. It's not hard if you don't make it hard. And I want you to know that recruiting literally starts with your social media. You have to talk about coaching. You have to talk about how coaching helps you, how it changes your life. These are like little jabs. It's not about making 6 figures that you have to think like, I can't recruit because I haven't made it yet. No, there are little things that coaching does for you that you can talk about all the time. You can talk about the accountability. You can talk about how it keeps you, like you do your workout because you actually have to post about it in your challenge group. You can talk about how you earned enough money to pay for your Shakeology for free. You don't have to talk about earning 6 figures. You see what I'm saying? I think a lot of people, that's what holds them back. So social media really is the key to recruiting. You got to be putting out coaching jabs all the time so that people start to pique an interest in wanting to do what you do. Talking about earning trips, talking about traveling, talking about going to trainings and super Saturdays and like how much fun we have. That's what makes people want to join your team. Does that make sense? I hope this call was helpful. Do you guys have any questions? We have a few minutes left. Anybody have anything for me or comments?
Yeah, I have a prospective coach. She wants to join, ready to go, but the whole money issue. And she keeps putting me off, so I don't know what to do.
For money, I usually just go with the $39.95 for people, and then I help them recruit as quickly as possible to get their Shakeology paid for.
Yeah, I gave her that option. And she's like, well, I really want to get product for like my sign up. And I was like, well, then you have to decide which one you want to. I mean, I was trying to save her money by doing the $39.95.
Gotcha. So she wants product. So yeah, she's going to have to do the challenge pack then, but she's saying she doesn't have the money. So, I mean, I would just be like bold with her and say, hey, do you have a birthday coming up that you can ask somebody to buy it for you? Or, I mean,
Right.
Melanie Mitros was a birthday gift. She used her birthday money.
True. Okay.
I've been super bold with some people in the past that, like, if they don't have, I mean, you can sign up with like $140 challenge pack. Like, you could do the bod for, like, you know, just the quarter to get started. That's $140. If somebody doesn't have $140 to start a business, there's no one better that I think should be a coach, because it sounds like they really need the income. So, I mean, if you've already talked to her, like, I don't know, I talk to a lot of people who go to McDonald's every day for lunch, but they tell me they don't have the money for this. So you can talk to her about the things she's doing in her life, like where she's spending her money, and maybe help her come up with a solution.
But you know what the funny thing is? Like, I know her really well because we were cheer moms together, and her husband just bought a motorcycle. And I was like, really?
So it sounds like she has the money, but you need to help her find it. You know
My
what I mean?
husband's like, well, maybe he has the money and he's not letting her use it. That's why I'm like, okay.
Maybe even like get into the conversation, like ask her if her spouse is supportive, like try to figure out like what the real reason is. Some people use money as an excuse, but there's really like bigger things. So try to get to like the real root of what's going on, you know?
Yeah, I know she had a brain tumor removed in January, and she gained like 10, 15 pounds from the radiation. So she really wants to take the weight off. Like, so we've been working on it, but like she loves the Shakeology. So like all of that is like plus for here. And I just have to get her to like bite the bullet. So she's the one I'm going to work on this week.
Yep, she's your goal. Definitely. She could use it.
Yeah, because that'll take me to 5 Success Club.
Woo! You're almost there. Well, we're going to get cut off, guys. So if you have any other